For this year's FMP, I aim to produce a reception environment. What I mean by a reception, I'm referring to a reception lobby, to like hospitality services, such as hotels, malls, parcel shops, pharmacies. I aim to produce it in some sort of 3D modeling software, then transferred into a game engine to be rendered. So either Blender, or Unreal, or Unity, or Maya. I'm not really sure which one I want to use yet. Obviously, since it's somewhat of a niche idea, I would need to use, I would say, a more exciting visual style to make sense with it. So I aim for photorealism. To accomplish that, I will use 3D Coat to texture it, using smart materials, or just hand painting. I plan on uploading the final product after it's been rendered into, like ArtStation or Sketchfab, to really publicize it, so someone could possibly buy in the future, or as a reference for a job. The actual product itself will be aimed at lovers of open RPG games, open worlds really. So like Resident Evil, like Spider-Man Marvels, or like, I'm not really sure about that, to be fair. Just open space, whatever that means. My skill level, the reason for my idea derives from my personal hobbies of taking photos during vacations. When I visit other countries, I like to really take pictures of open spaces, or like modern cities, such as when I went to Beijing and stayed in a hotel and went to the advanced shopping malls, really, just wide space environments. It's a bit weird, but like, it's me. My skill levels across the last 3 years have improved a lot. I would say my ability to recreate my final ideas and pre-visualizations are pretty good, as you can see from my FMP last year, when I was somehow able to replicate my character design with the fox. Also, my topology is generally good, and my texturing skills are alright for my current skill level and experience with 3D modeling. The reason why I say 3D modeling is my strength is because I have far more experience with the art side of games development than programming. My potential research sources will be from really real-life hotels and video games that I've played. Like, once again, like Spider-Man or DX Gentleman. GX Gentleman.
I wish not.
I don't know how to say the game's name. I can't say it. Yeah, basically, this is like the Fist building and the corrupt corporate bank or whatever. And I've carried out some primary research and secondary research in the last couple of weeks, and here are some photos I took when I went to a visit in London, and this is the one in the hotel in the Fountain, and really this is just a photo from the airport in I don't even know, like in China or like Japan. I don't remember. I took it sometime in the summer last year, essentially. And for secondary research, I took photos of architecture-related books, such as really this pillar, and like really some photos from game magazines. So basically, my secondary research is just architecture-related books to help structure the actual reception itself, and game magazines, so I have a reference on what it would look like, essentially, or what I want to achieve. In terms of time management, I ideally want to spend about 6 hours in and out of college. Really, if in the case that I experience burnout, I'll probably like have 1 or 2 days off, and then I'll just pull all days and all nights, or whatever that means, to catch up. But
Doesn't sound like the solution to burnout.
But usually, I'm usually above track. I don't think I'll have any trouble with burnout, even if it does happen. As you can see, here's a detailed schedule from the beginning of the FMP to the deadline. It basically summarizes where I can do my work in the college library, or using my PC at home, and using the college laptop as a backup if, I don't know, like if my Wi-Fi dies or something like that. And yeah, I basically split down each of the sections of the FMP into 3. Obviously, this is too detailed for each section, so I'm going to use a Trello to simplify it, like what I did last year. So I know what to do for each section and when to update my progress. Yeah. For the evaluation, I plan on carrying out just using the basic written format instead of like a video or audio, since, well, I'm not really that much of a speaker, so it's not really a good idea. That's the evaluation section itself will be just the questionnaire format that that Andy usually uploads around the last couple of weeks. I find a pre-made format on what to write easier than actually just coming up with something by myself for the evaluation. Any questions?
Yes, I've got a few. Just finishing my sentence. Your UAL proposal form is incomplete.
Proposal?
Yep.
What do you mean?
So this is the official document that goes aligned with this. Okay.
I do have Harvard reference in the main portfolio itself.
Right, so the idea itself, I think the idea is pretty fine. It just falls into some of the trap at this level on sort of what makes effective and ineffective environment. So you're making a reception, fantastic, but what stops your reception just being like a image of a reception? Where's the development of this thing coming in?
Logos. I'll include unique logos to myself, assets that you usually wouldn't find in other
Explain that a little bit
real-life
more to me.
environments. For example, for the lighting in a scene, I plan on using objects that obviously work as the emission source, but they wouldn't follow like realistic physics. Like when they shoot down onto the environments, usually you expect like a shadow will be produced. I don't really intend to do anything like that.
But you said you're going for a photorealistic style.
Yeah, I will, but like it wouldn't be realistic. It wouldn't be like straight up the shadow will exactly appear, then just got overlays on other.
So you're not going
parts
for
of the scene.
photorealistic?
I mean,
Half the battle with photorealism is lighting.
but you wouldn't expect.
So it would be
Game
photorealistic.
Then it will be more exaggerated.
Exaggerated, abstract, it depends on the style that it comes across. It's fine, I'm just, I'm worried is part of the criteria for your final major project is developing creative solutions. And if you see a desk and you model a desk like the desk you saw, you don't meet that criteria. So how are you going to avoid that?
Could you say that again?
So obviously part of the criteria for the FMP is that you develop creative solutions. Let's say that you see a reference image, you have a reference image of a reception desk. Got this image of reception desk, you really like this reception desk. So you go over to Maya and you make that reception desk for your FMP, just like that reference image. Doesn't meet the criteria.
No, I plan on drawing my own designs to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain that a little bit more to me. Because I know you have drawn your own designs because I've seen them.
Yeah. Honestly, my designs they're not the final designs, but like, what do you mean?
Take your time with them, it's no rush.
A reception desk.
Trying to throw you a bone there, I gave you an exact
try to
example.
make it a reception desk doesn't. It can have an abstract appearance. It doesn't need to have a photorealistic appearance. You don't expect.
Don't worry about the photorealism, don't worry about the visual styles. The
design itself, you wouldn't expect a reception desk to be all. It's a reception desk, so you wouldn't expect it to have a completely unique design.
No, you wouldn't. There are certain parts of your scene that would be quite similar to the real world counterparts, but you're building a real world scene, for the most part, wouldn't meet the passing criteria.
No, it wouldn't. The designs themselves wouldn't be that realistic. It would be like.
No, but it'd still be based off of this. If you've got a picture of one of these desks, okay, and you design an abstract version of it, it's elongated, it's.
Oh, in that case, I'll just use unrealistic texture, like.
But the model itself, though, ignore the texture. Doesn't matter if I stretch it, if I make certain parts larger. It's under its fundamentals. It is still the same desk. How do you avoid that?
By making it follow unrealistic physics, like instead of having.
Don't worry about the physics. I mean, the models themselves. I'm talking about just the models. What have you done in terms of? Let's have a look at. Let's use this idea that I've plucked completely out of my head. Reception desks. Have you come up with any unique designs for reception desks?
Yeah, like they might have. Some of them, it might have a curve to it, or like, or use instead of following a square shape, it'll follow a triangular shape or circular. I don't.
You've made a completely unique reception desk as part of your previs, rather than it just being a reference. The only thing I'm saying is I'm worried that if you have a picture or you're coming up with concepts that look like a desk, they are a desk, there's no uniqueness to them, it just won't meet the criteria for the FMP.
Yeah, but
so you need to make sure that you
can make them unique from other aspects, like the texturing.
I was going with the reception desk because I know you've done the reception. I just filled out your form this morning. So I know that you had these 3 designs and then a previs design, which was nothing like the 3 designs. But it had that sort of spherical object underneath it. There's nothing like.
No, it does have traits to the others.
It does what, sorry?
It does have traits to the others.
Oh, okay.
It did take on traits, like the curve part of like concept 1 inspired me to like use.
It was just concept 1 though, wasn't it?
No, but
the other 2 were just rushed.
No, I could have made the reception desk smaller, but I didn't. I made them wider, just like.
You can't get the wideness from it because you've just drawn the desk flat planned. But no, I'm just saying, make sure with your there are certain objects will be quite realistic, quite similar to their counterparts in the real world, but make sure you're coming up with your own unique twists on them.
Yeah.
Because there's no point concepting a table if the concepts are similar tables. So keep up with unique designs. It's like that, incorporating other things, but just avoid them looking like exactly like one of your reference images. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What did I say? You mentioned it being sort of an RPG sort of game, open world for people.
It'll be fit for RPG games.
Yeah. So the end result of an environment is that it exists within a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So How is your environment realised in the scope of a game? What are you doing in your environment that ties it into the type of game it might exist in?
It'll be linked to the hero, or the actual MC of the game it's part of. It'll be like the area where the MC stays or has a mission in. Yeah, essentially.
Just to prod it further to get interest in the story, what type of mission could possibly go on in this reception?
A heist.
A heist?
A heist if it was related, if the actual player, the avatar of the player, isn't actually living there but only coming there to visit, it'll be for like a heist.
A heist, so
against against a gang to
yeah,
steal
so
money.
What might the environment have in it then if there was a heist taking place?
Obviously money. So I'll throw some money across the scene, or like blood stains using decals, or like.
Oh, so this is post heist.
Yeah.
That's a very bad heist. They've managed to shoot the place up and drop money.
Yeah,
very
but
clear.
it makes it more obvious.
No, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, the only reason I say, because some people say, right, I'm just going to make a model, it's going to look like a model, and they forget that it needs to be gamified. So yeah, think about like your money bags, your...
Yeah, and if I was to go for like the hero route, where instead the hero is not breaking in, it will just have like stereotypical props to help associate the idea. It's like, I don't know, like a sword, or like blankets, pillows.
What made you go for the photorealistic style? Because everything you've done has been sort of like cutesy, sort of abstract in design.
More variation. I think I've been doing too much cell shaded in the last couple of years, and I should start developing other skills for other visual styles.
What made you decide to do it for the graded project, though?
For what?
For your graded project. So you're sort of experimenting and trying to branch out. Why now?
Oh,
when it's graded.
The other products were kind of forced. You were forced to make a horror game. You were forced to make a platformer, and to be honest, that sounds a bit too difficult to manage both the aesthetic and programming at once. And I don't think I can actually do both for the other products.
No, so I just wondered, because obviously you've gone for sort of, what was last year? It was Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Your level 2 was the anime character. That's right, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But
so yeah, I was just wondering why you went with the photorealistic now. It does make it easier. Photorealism is quite easy to you see from like your reference images. It's a lot of flat surfaces, heavily sort of geometric shapes. So it is all. You've got to be careful. It is all to do with sort of your lighting and textures there. So have a play around with how the lighting comes across in your scene. I know you were saying about like no shadows.
No, there's not going to be. Well, there will be shadows. It wouldn't be fully realistic shadowing. If that makes sense.
What do you envision as a non-realistic shadow?
I mean, you know how like shadows stretch out the further you are, or whatever. It wouldn't do that. It would just.
All your shadows are going to be like Hello Kitty shadows on the back of
No, they would just be exact shadows.
Can't let the Hello Kitty down. That's what it is. What are you taking from the architectural secondary research? So you said you're looking at architecture books.
Composition, the actual layout scene itself, like you see this one? They actually separate the layers of the building, even though it's if you look at it from like a bird's eye view, it's like a square shape. Okay, but they use like columns to separate them and split the scene. I plan on trying to attempt something similar to like optimize the scene space, I guess.
No, I just wanted to know a little bit more about why it makes sense you're doing sort of an architectural project to look at an architecture book. I just wanted to know a bit more about why you were what you were really taking from your secondary. Your trailer kind of looks a little bit like it's just there for show. I don't know if it is. Obviously, you've got like production, planning, and there doesn't seem to be any subcategories in that.
Project management, like.
But it doesn't manage a project if it's like having a.
But anything else would be too detailed. Like it'll be easier for me if I could just see the name of each section.
So would it be useful for me if I had like a Trello board that just says like become rich? Just that. Make money. Without going into detail about how I might go about that. If it's managing a project.
That's. But then that play will just be too specific. It'll just overlap with the actual schedule.
Because obviously you've got to remember Trello's designed to break the the tasks apart rather than your cards, the overall task, they're designed to be like your planning, your production, rather than just one box that says production, because that box may only shift twice, at the very start and at the very end. You haven't broken it apart into separate pieces. Without that, the Trello board is of no use to your project.
Yeah,
And realistically, it's no use to you.
I'll annotate it clearly. Like,
There's no point annotating your Trello board. It defeats the idea
the
of.
Trello is just a simpler way of expressing the schedule without needing to actually go into specifics.
It should go into specifics.
Unless if it's...
Yeah, it should do. I was just saying, you might want to consider, with Trello, I don't know how much you've looked at, you've got checklists, and you can add some of the subtasks there. So
Yeah.
you can have inside there, you can have like...
updating it.
Yeah, I'm just without it, it's very sort of just there for. I'm also planning my project. I'm doing Trello boards and Gantt charts, and I can see that they're not going to be of use to the project. You're ahead of schedule on your written one though. So you're on grey boxing already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't done the rest of plannings.
No, but you've started planning. Your
Yeah.
tasks for this week indicate that you'd sort of start looking at planning. No, that's fine. It's a fun idea. It's good. I definitely prefer it to Hello Key.
Okay.
That was a weird one. Yeah, just make sure you try tell a story within the environment. Yeah. Like you said, put it in an engine after. Do a fly through of it.
Yeah,
I suppose you've got a bit of like a video
so basically
footage.
just a trailer.
Kind of like like a trailer, and then you wanted to put it on like ArtStation, Sketchfab or something like that, didn't you? That you mentioned.
Yeah, I think I'll put it in Sketchfab. That's what Andy said. But
Yeah. That's absolutely fine. I just say always try to put them in an engine as well, just so that you can get that fly over. Have a look at games, things like oh no, what's it called? It's suddenly you rob places. Why can I not think of Payday? Yeah, have a look at things like Payday. Have a look at like the Hitman. Did you have reference images to the Hitman?
No.
No, for some reason in my head I can see a picture of the Hitman in your
Yeah,
project.
I might use other games like
because
Detroit.
they do quite nice sort of environments there that are designed to, you've got certain things out, certain assets, props within the scene to help Agent 47 be able to go, right, I could burn someone's face off with that, There's props in the scene to help guide the player. Yeah, so definitely have a look at things like that. Payday's quite a good one, because if you were saying about a heist, that's very much a game about heists.
It doesn't have to be heist. It just has to be some type of themed.
No, but definitely have a think about it, because what makes an effective scene is if you can have an effective story behind it. Yeah, because we've had students in the past that have done like, was it a church? And they just modelled a church, and it wasn't until we started prodding for more story based on what went on in this church, we were able to help define what the insides, the interior should look like, and things to add. So do consider a bit of a backstory there, so that like I said, is it post, is it pre-heist, is it even a heist? Yeah, it will all determine how the layout of the scene is. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. It's a fine idea. Good.